Hey guys, so this is be your weekend video, and we're gonna be looking at weekly setups to see what we can get after next week. And we're gonna start with the indexes. So you always want to trade with the indexes wherever they're going, ideally. And you're gonna notice inside month and doing nothing, they're red. They just haven't taken out those lows. So by definition, consolidation. You look at the year, also consolidation. So you're potentially getting really tight back in here. So want to worry about that. If you go on to the weekly chart over here, you'll notice these two bars go outside of that. Now, inside month, so you have no magnitude, slight lower low on the week, and they don't do anything. So potentially we get the broadening formation starting on our lower time frame from your inside bar on the higher time frame. You're gonna see your slightly higher highs, slightly lower lows. So going into Monday, closer to 2-2 to come back through this previous three. And we'll see once you get back up to these highs, though, you get your exhaustion risk because after these pivots, you're stuck. There's next pivot's way up there, 457.31. So how are we gonna be able to get through all of that? That's the question. And if you go to any of the other ones, you're gonna see similar. Qs we know is weaker, so still same potential 322, but nowhere near doing that on Monday. And you go on the week, went 3-2, still closer to continuation down. And if they do that, triggers the month. And you're gonna notice. Sorry, let me fix my time frames here. Keep doing that. You're gonna notice on the week, a lot closer to 2 down, and you're noticing the month very close to triggering that 2-2 month. So that means anyone that bought last month, they go underwater right there. So if they're going to sell and they're going to stop out of their longs and take some profit, we want to know once they get under 363.41, and if so, if they stay under that, 346.51, and you have all these pivots set up to do it. And that means anyone that bought in this, they get stopped out under here. Anyone that bought into here gets stopped out there. Anyone that bought into there, stopped out here, and then etc. till you get here. And then you'll notice you don't have the next pivot till way down there. So we'll have to wait and see. But closer to it on Qs. And if we go to DIA, nowhere near on the month, 2 up. So prefer that to confirm, but 2 up in red very slightly. Go on the week, 3 slight lower low, potential 2-2 next week. So we instantly know DIA stuff. We want to see what that stuff's doing to the highs. And that's going to be cat inside 3-1 day to trigger 2-1-2 week to confirm the month and the year signal. And that means above 286.19 on Monday. If we can take out the top of this 3 and stay outside of that, we got to get up to 293.88. And we'll be looking for it. So we go to HD. You're going to see similar potential 2-2 day on Monday to take out the weekly trigger to go 2-2-2 week. You had the corrective activity, slight lower low, stop them out, trap some shorts, brings it back up. Anyone that thinks this is rolling over, 2-2 week would confirm your 2 up month, potentially get you back up to the high of this 3 at 341.47. And your daily trigger is 331.59. So we want to see, can they trigger the week up on Monday in this stuff or not? You go to lows, some relative weakness there. You can see the big sell stopped out all these guys. Now, notice your exhaustion risk. Next pivot's way down here. Failed to get it. Right back into the range with the Momo or with the hammer week. So going into next week, it is 2 down month. So make note that this is weaker, but potential 2-2 week. And if all those things in the DIAs rally, maybe this one can make it back up there. And within that idea, we also have on the upside a lot of energy names. So you'll notice on XLEs, we talked about it in the last video, going into the new month, or the new 6 month actually, with oil. And you're going to see oil currently slight higher high on the 6 month. So they're not enforced doing anything yet. And we know they're inside on the year, or at least dead stuck inside of all this. So next year, since it's 2 down here, next year we want to see the 2-2, but this can go greener if it wants. So we still want to keep an eye on oil. Notice how it's 2 up month, slightly exhausted. And on the weekly basis down here, you're going to see big old doji, slight higher high over here. So going into next week, do we go inside or do we go 2-2, stop out these guys, or 2-2 continuation to confirm everything else? That's the question. But within oil, you got SLB, big ol' outside week, and potentially 3-2. If they can do that, you can see some exhaustion up here, 59.57. So you have to keep that in mind. But the year, 2 up in force, so they're trending, and they're trying to take out this stuff up here. So 3-2 week, if that can confirm, we'd want to know about it. And since there's all threes on all the XLE stuff, if they do fall back in, if we get XLE 2 up in red next week, We could try to take it the other way too if the volatility is there. But so far, since they're so green on the month, we'd prefer not to. And if you go on the XLE specifically, notice all your pivot targets set up here. Can we get 90, 67? And if so, will they be strong enough to take out that? Because we're still inside year. We're just very close to going 2. We want to see what they're able to do or not. And so we already talked about SLB. There's also CVX. And you see the outside week, and you're going to see 2-1 or 2-2 month right here. Now 2 up confirming that, trying to get back up into these pivots up here. Also inside on the year. So if energies aren't going to move a lot at the end of this year, next year we definitely want to know about them, because you get the 2-1-2 measured move, take out everybody, that things energies are rolling over, right? And on the upside, we have a couple more. So Amazon, it's also going to be consumer discretionary. You can see on the year, slight lower low, potential 3 years. So you still got that going for you. Go on the week, you're going to notice 2-1, so inside on the week. And on the day, anyone that's trying to short this gap up, you can see every time it makes a new low, right back up. New low, right back up. Slight lower low, right back up. So going into next week, anyone that got short this week, if we can take out your inside week highs, 142.54, they're going to get ran over. And if you look at this compared to something like, let's say Amazon, or not Amazon, something like SPY, you can see SPY nowhere near taking out last week's highs, which means anyone that shorted last week, if we don't take them out, they're getting what they want. The market's at least not going up, right? But on Amazon, if they shorted that one, not knowing the month is 2 up in green, they're gonna have to buy to close and they're gonna get killed. So going into Monday, same potential 2-2 day, really far from triggering the week. But if they can get up there, we'd want to know about it. So all you gotta do is set an alert, and then you just wait and see, right? And now outside of that, there's WAT. You can see also continuation month. So new high exhaustion risk, but 3-1 week. So we're setting up. And the cool thing about this one, you're going to notice, is you have pivots set up right above here to take out all this stuff. And on the year, inside and down, but these 2 bars stuck inside of that right now. So if we're going to start the new try, you're going to get that slight lower low on the year, and then go back for your higher highs, which as it sits now would be these highs up here. So we want to see 3-on-2 week. Can that confirm the month? And if so, or what else could we trigger if we go on the quarter? We could trigger that quarter up, so we'd want to know about that. And since the month continuation, we got all the 2s trying, we want to see if they can come back into that. And outside of that, we got APLS, another one. So you're going to see within the Russell 1000, slight higher highs, lower lows, outside weak, so potential 3-2 back up. Notice on the quarter, it is bright red, but it's exhausted. On the month, you're going to see big sellers. New month, new continuity, new participants, 2 down in green. So it is 2 down. You got to keep in mind of that. But they are trying to come back through. So 3-2 next week. If they can do that, we got some pivots to go after on the daily time frame. Over 41.98, you do get exhausted, so you got to be careful of that. But not a bad one to be looking at, and the volatility there is pretty crazy. You got 30% of volatility, so we'll see if they want to continue or not. And outside of that, there's a couple things. You got like Pan W. So you see big 3 stuck inside of all that, and then slight lower low on the 2, and then the hammer. So we've got that, and you are exhausted on the month. You just got to be careful, since it is red month and it's outside year. If this hammer doesn't work, get the heck out of the way, because you got the rest of the month to go after this on the downside. And ideally what we'd want to be looking for is the 2 up week that then gets reversed and goes 2-2s back down, because if we can do that, see the big 3 over here, we'd want to try and take out the other side of that, take these guys out. But we'll have to see until it sets up, since you can see the exhaustion risk. Next pivot's way down here, so how are we going to do that? We'll just have to wait and see. But 3-2 into next week, we'll see if the buyers show up or not. If they don't, we know the month, and we know also on the quarter, you can see potential outside quarter as well. And they're trying to get back under these previous highs, 214.08. So we'll see. If you go to CRM, you're going to see also takes out previous month's lows. And then on the weekly, nowhere near reversing that, but you go on the day, and you can see potential RevStrat day. And if they take that up to its magnitude, they might be able to go and stop out these guys and trigger into the rest. So when you get a PMG, doesn't mean they have to buy it, but if they can trigger that week, anyone that shorted last week thinking that they're going to start plowing through this, you're potentially going to come back through them. So it is 2 down month. It's not the best setup in the world for that, but want to keep an eye on it. If things want to start flying, we'd want to know about it. You can see though on the quarter, you go right back to doji. So it is 2 up, but we'll have to wait and see. Does this TTO get us back to 2 week and start trading back higher or not? And now on the downside, since we said Q is a lot closer to triggering the month down, you go to the monthly on Microsoft right here, and you see shooter month in force. 2-2 has hit its magnitude. But if that's going to keep going, you got all the pivots in the world to try and come back through. So we want to see if those sellers are aggressive enough. And you go on the quarter, you can see a potential outside quarter from exhaustion risk. And all these bars and outside of that stuff on the left. So we are coming back through previous range, come back through the try. We'll just have to see if it sets up again. And ideally, you just want to get the slight higher highs and TTO them. So even if we just take out this high right here and set up to come back lower, we'd still want to know about it. And if we go to Apple, you see Apple in the month, same deal. So bright red coming back in. We got all month to go after this thing. And you look down on the left, they can trigger these guys, potentially able to get to the next one. So we'll just have to see if they are weak enough to do that. You are at exhaustion risk, so keep that in mind going into next week. Did sell, you get the new weekly flip, so we'll see. It's closer to 3122 on Monday, so if they want to stop out these guys, they'll go and do it. If we go to DXCM, this is one we traded in the free room on Tuesday, or the free stream, and you're going to see the inside day and down, then compound inside bar. So are we going to set up again to take that down? These three inside of that. So if we take out these lows, they're trying to take out that. And once we get under 107s again, we want to start going through the rest of these pivots because we want to complete that try. And if they want to, you can see outside quarter, so they already did what they're supposed to there. But if they want to, you go on the month, you can see the 2-2 month comes off of these highs. So if they're weak enough to take that out, they might be weak enough to take out all this. And there's also PODB, which is doing the same thing. So you can see the slight higher high on the yearlies, 3, 1, 1, 2, and then they kill them, right? And you'll notice, look at all your clustered pivots. That tells you that they're going to kill them, right? So boom, right through all their stops. And we got the rest of the month to go after this. So we don't have to be that first one in. If you look down and left, you got more pivot targets. So let's see if we can set up or not. You can see on Thursday, 2 up, 2 down on Friday, hits its magnitude. Now, going into next week, since this is our daily try, are we in a TTO or not is the question. We don't want to be trading right into the lows. We want that slight higher low to take out. So anyone that bought here sells into our position, right? So can be looking at PODD, DXCM to set up. You go to MDB. This is going to be more of your infotech stuff. And you're going to see the higher high over here. And now 2-2 month in force. So are they going to be weak enough to take that out? 277.24. It is bright red. We'll have to see. On Monday, you got an inside day. But the week, just 3-2 bright red. So do they go continuation week? If so, do we get dailies to get in there or not? We'll have to wait and see for that to set up. And we got a couple more RMD. And you're going to see another one coming through some previous pivots, but on a yearly basis, inside and down. So got the rest of the year if they're going to go after it. This is going to be part of your healthcare stuff. So we know they're getting killed in healthcare. So nice bear market there. Going into Monday, triple inside day. And if you take that out, you're going to have to trigger all these guys. So we'll see if they go continuation week. Ideally, again, we want to see them set up. But if they can confirm that, we got a lot of ways to go if they can keep selling. So keep an eye on that. And since it's a 3 month, trade it this month and the next month, 3-2, they're still going, right? Go to Myrna. It's going to be more healthcare stuff. This was also on our previous video where we talked about your 3-2 Momo shooter right here. And you can see on Monday they killed it. Then they get stuck inside. Chop. So now the question is how are we going to get out of here? And ideally, we want the TTO and then short it back down to start making new lows again, stop out all these guys, and confirm your inside year and down along with RMD. And the last one we've got FIVN. and you're going to see another one, 2 month and force, bright red, closing in on its month magnitude, but the other side of the try is a good bit lower if they want to keep bringing it down there. Again, 3-2 week, so nowhere near taking this out, but no signals to go after, so we just got to wait and see if it sets up again. And ideally, we want to stick with the healthcare stuff because those all have the year down, so we got the whole year to go after it. But on stuff like FIVN, we only got another couple weeks, so we'll keep in mind, but may not be one that we end up trading. It just got a lot of volatility there, so we'll see. You can see the 1-2 up, and then Monday, if they rev strat that thing, we'd want to know about that. They're continuing, right? But outside of that, I don't got much else for you. So quick recap: we've got energies still going to the highs. VLO and PC are going to be your leaders, and then you have CVX, SLB, XOM, all of that stuff that is weaker still inside on the year. Or actually, SLB is not inside, so that one's 2 up here. You can keep that one on watch. But outside of that, in the consumer discretionaries, you got Cat, HD, Lowe's, and Amazon potential upside triggers, and not much else. So hopefully this was helpful for you guys. And going into next week, we will be watching all of those weekly upside triggers and doing our scans to see what we find out. And if you want to see the update to this video, if you go into the Stat Trading Discord, you will see the update on Tuesday where we do our free live stream for the free side of the house. Sorry. And it is not scheduled, but it's something I plan on doing just to help you guys out in the free section. So if you want to get in there, what you can do is you go to stratalerts.com/Discord. And that will take you to the Discord invite to get into stat trading. And once you're there, you do not have to do the test if you don't want to, but if you do, you'll get certified as a strat person, and you can use the free chat. And we also have a weekly contest where we all put in our favorite setups going into next week and just compete based on the outcome of that option pick. And if you want to see that as well, we've got it right here. So you can see battle options. These are the all-time gains, but going into next week, you're going to see we got all of the entries put in here, and I'm guessing I'm down closer to the lows. Let's see. Yeah, so I'm down here. I got Lulu, and that was actually one we forgot to go over, so we'll quickly throw it in here. If you go to Lulu, you're going to see, so not setting up for us next week on the daily charts, but on the weekly time frame, check out your outside week. 3 show aggression, right? So 3-2 next week, they can PMG all these guys. So we want to know about Lulu. And it does have earnings coming up, so they might kill some volatility there, but just one that I was eyeing up just because of your pivots. So that's why it's on my pick, or that's why it's my pick for the contest. But we're going to end it off here. So hopefully this was helpful. If it was, drop a like. And if there's something else that you want me to start talking about in these videos, feel free to let me know in the comments. Again, I'm trying to get better at doing this because it's not something I've done in the past. So just going to have to bear with me as we learn. But hopefully this was helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.